Hello and welcome to another spine-chilling episode of Beyond the Unknown. I'm your host, Jolie,
And I'm Quinn.
and today we're going to talk about butts, but more specifically, butts sitting on objects that have a dark history, subsequently cursing the person to an unfortunate ending. So stay tuned to learn more about these cursed pieces. Butts.
But
Our first cursed object comes from North York. I'm going to do that over again because I forgot I have to practice this. Yorkshire. Okay. Our first cursed object comes from Yorkshire.
you got this. I say like Yorkshire, but I'm so aggressive with
I
pronouncing
know
things.
it's
It's so hard.
our first cursed object comes from North Yorkshire or North Yorkshire, if you're me and you want to read it that way, in the United Kingdom in 1702. It's a tall oak chair with hand-spun spindles on the back and was previously owned by a man named Thomas Busby.
Am I supposed
Thomas,
to know who that is?
no,
Okay, cool.
so 1700.
You never know.
Thomas ran a counterfeit coin operation along with a few other dodgy businesses with his father-in-law, Daniel Oddie. Now, Thomas Busby had quite the temper, and one evening, while Mr. Oddie and Mr. Busby were discussing their counterfeit coin business, a dispute quickly escalated to murder, resulting in the death of Daniel Oddie. Others claim that over a drink or many, the drink got in an argument because
The
Daniel
pair
Oddie's. Oh,
said
whoops.
the drink got into an argument.
Others claim that over a drink, or many, the pair got into an argument because Daniel Oddie sat in Thomas Busby's favorite chair at the pub. Kind of like when we were on the bus as kids, and the cool kids had like their bus spot.
I was one of those kids, and I definitely had my seat. Um, I'm just kidding. I wasn't cool.
Me neither, so I watched. Allegedly, Mr. Busby was drinking at the pub when he was arrested for the murder of his father-in-law. Can't get rid of him at the pub. Pub guy loves his booze.
Yeah.
Drunkenly, he cursed the chair because it was the last thing he touched before he was arrested, or likely also the cause of the dispute that resulted in the murder and his arrest.
Yeah.
Luckily, Thomas Busby was caught and sentenced to death.
Okay.
I don't know if luckily is the right way to put it, but
Yeah, I don't know if I'd phrase it quite like that.
fortunately, justice prevailed.
There, I like that.
Yeah. Since this was the 1700s, do you want to take a little guess on how he was executed?
Head chopped off.
I thought you'd guess that. No, it was the
Oh,
other really popular form of public murder or execution. He was hung, but when I was looking up, um, when I was looking up his execution, they used the term gibbeted, and I'd never heard that before. Do you know what that is?
definitely not.
Okay. It's when they leave you hanging in metal chains or some sort of metal cage, and your body remains there, typically decomposing over a period of time, and they put it in like, the public square or wherever the execution took place to kind of deter crime. Pirates
Oh,
also did
so
this.
like once you're dead, then you stay in the chains and cage.
Yeah, but I think you're in it as you die as well.
Oh, okay.
So I think it all happens in one and then they just leave you.
Oh,
But if
okay.
someone's an expert on this, let me know. The location where Thomas Busby was executed was across the street from a pub. Now, I can't find out if this pub was the exact same one where he was arrested, but coincidentally, this pub was renamed to the Busby Stoop Inn. And for some time, it housed the alleged cursed chair known as the Busby Stoop or the Dead Man's Chair.
Sounds pleasant.
Yeah. During the Second World War, Canadian Air Force soldiers went to the inn for a drink. The soldiers all heard the rumors of the cursed chair and dared one another to sit in it. Not all were willing to take the chance, but those who did never returned from their mission over mainland Europe.
Ooh, that's
Coincidence
creepy.
or curse?
Sounds like a curse.
Over the years, many more deaths have resulted from sitting in the chair. There was a bricklayer who was doing repairs at the inn who apparently sat in the chair for his break. Later that day, he fell on the job and died.
Oh my
Another
God.
delivery man faced a similar tragedy when taking a seat, and within an hour of taking a seat on that chair, he crashed his vehicle.
So they just let this seat just chill and
I don't know. I can't find anything to say that everyone was like, yeah, this is a risk for us and our business and the
yeah,
community.
it's killing our patrons.
But I don't know, it was there. People knew about it, I guess. And there are other stories of people sitting in the chair and facing a quick and tragic death or some other injuries. But eventually, because there had been so many deaths and incidents attributed to the chair, the last owner apparently sold it to the Thirsk Museum, which is in the United Kingdom, and it hangs there on display to educate the public today and spare other living souls from the curse because it's literally like hung above the ground so you can't sit on it.
Mhm.
So would you sit on this if you had the chance?
No, and like I literally can't understand why they just left it out in the pub for people to sit on.
I don't know. Yeah,
Like I
who
would
knows?
burn the chair. I understand sending the message, but I think I would just burn the chair.
Could you imagine sitting on it by accident? You show up to the table, your friends are there, and you're like running behind, and you pull up that chair, and they're like, ugh.
I couldn't
We
imagine
might as
because
well
I'd
have
be
a good
dead.
time because this is, yeah, your last night.
Yeah, like you literally die. So no, that sounds terrible.
Okay, well, if you won't sit on the Busby stoop, then let's talk about something else that's cursed.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania lies three st three
An X.
stones. Yeah, I needed to find the location, clearly. Let me Google that real quick.
Yeah. Oh my God, I know what's wrong with me.
Okay, Freeland, Pennsylvania. In Freeland, Pennsylvania lies three stones that form a couch-looking structure. It's why I hate myself.
It's X-Files. X-Files. X-Files are like Miles.
It was supposed to be miles. I saw on like this
It's
blog, it was like
X-Files.
kind of describing how you get there. And I wasn't
And
sure
they're
if they
talking about
actually
the
had number of
X-Files.
miles or just,
You could just say it's really far away from any
I
road.
think I'm gonna say that. I can't find it,
Yeah.
so I'll just, that better be the last damn X. Oh no, I can see it right here.
All
Looking
kinds of
through the
X's.
X mountains. That's what I usually do when it's like find info later.
Yeah. Holy cow. Oh,
Okay, I'll just wing it.
you got this.
In Freeland, Pennsylvania lies three stones that form a couch-looking structure. It's quite a ways away from the road in the deep woods in a remote area, so you either stumble upon it unknowingly or you seek it out. There's various stories as to why this couch is cursed. The first being that a mother was walking through the mountains with her child strapped to her back. When she stopped to take a rest on this stone, she noticed her child had died. Struck
What?
with anger and grief, she cursed the rock couch.
Wait, what? The child was just dead?
I guess, like, I don't know, these like folklore stories. I can't tell, like, was she walking for days in the cold?
Yeah.
It was just like when she took the child off her back, she realized it had passed.
That is a drastic turn I didn't see.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
a lot happening there. Um, yeah, so she cursed the couch.
fair.
But other people think that that's not the original curse of the couch, and there are many other stories of how this couch stone structure is apparently cursed. Another story claims that in 1918, during the Spanish influenza, or as I typed, Spanish influence, cool, let's go with that, a man was bringing his sick family to the doctors, but their vehicle broke down. Since there were since they were too unwell to walk all the way to the doctors, he moved these rocks to form a couch. So he took basically like these giant stones, moved them into this formation so that his family could rest while he went to go get help.
Okay.
Sadly, once he returned, he found them all deceased from the flu. And it is said that the father of the family cursed the couch. Regardless of how it started, this couch has many stories of an untimely death of a loved one and is said to have cursed those who dare sit on it today.
Honestly, at this point, I don't want to sit on anything anywhere ever again. I'm just going to
Yeah.
stand when I'm traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. Given how airline doors are just flying off these days.
Yeah, I'll just stand in the aisle. I don't care.
Yeah. I think this story is going to be so damn short. I might have to do some filler in here.
It's okay. Mine was really short last week.
Just finding myself. Uh, all right. So are you ready for the last one?
I guess, but this is making me never want to explore or travel or sit in random pubs, but keep going.
Luckily, this one you probably won't encounter out in the wild,
Okay.
and hopefully you won't be around pieces of furniture like this, but if you are, let's talk. So,
What is it? The suspense.
so this one's a bit different because it's not a seat, like it's not a chair, it's not a couch, but you can sit on it. It's a bed.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
a
Why
bed
wouldn't I
that,
be in a bed?
well, I guess this bed was in a certain location.
Okay.
Not its now location, its previous location. So right now, this bed resides at our boy, Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum.
Stop. I love Zach.
I didn't know he had a haunted museum, and he does, and it's in freaking Las Vegas.
I just
We
booked a
gotta
trip to
go.
Vegas. We'll talk
What?
about this later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. So we're going. And oh my gosh, Zach Baggins, if you ever listen to this, we are your biggest fans and we have to meet you.
We have to.
Have
It's
to.
written in the stars.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's where it is now. And obviously, to get into Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum, it has to be apparently haunted and have some sort of tragedy associated to it.
Okay.
So, this bed came from Love Ranch.
Okay.
You want to know? You take a little guess what Love Ranch is?
Like a Playboy mansion style situation. I don't know. A
Kind of
commune.
a
Okay.
legal brothel.
Oh, I didn't know brothels were legal ever. Okay.
They are in the state of Nevada
Okay.
still to this day, so careful on that trip.
Yeah.
And and this brothel was owned by Dennis Hoff, which I don't really know who that is. I've only learned about him in the story, so no expectations there. But as a side note, as I was learning about the story and tragedy associated to the bed in the ranch, I learned a little bit about Dennis Hoff that I'll explain later.
Okay.
But, not only was he a brothel owner, he was running for senator.
Okay. I think everyone in the States just runs for political stuff.
Yeah,
Like it's just go for it.
if you have a big enough ego, go for it. Unlike the other pieces of furniture, this bed has only had a few incidents of recorded misfortune, but it's still considered to be cursed. I'm sorry if you can hear this, and I'm really hoping my mic doesn't pick up on it, but my neighbor's like power puking. So we'll find out later.
Oh, no, I do not hear it.
Yeah, I'll play it back for you if this is catching it. Um,
I think I
okay,
can hear it. It's like, just wait a sec, wait for it to pass.
it has passed.
Okay. Like he's done
Oh,
done
no, it's
though.
starting up. He's been doing
I
this for
can hear
hours.
that. Holy shit. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
poor guy.
Yeah, he does this all the time. Yeah, he says he has diabetes, but I'm like, is that a
That's not a
symptom?
reason to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I see diabetics every day, all day. It's not such a
Yeah,
big
I've
deal.
never heard of that. Anyways, that's his life.
Okay, let's roll.
In October of 2015, at Love Ranch, a celebrity was found unresponsive in one of the beds. Guess freaking who? If you know celebrities.
At 2015, he would have been like big back then. That's like 10 years ago. Did they die or they were just found unresponsive?
Found unresponsive. Did not die.
Oh my God, I don't know. There's so many
I
celebrities.
know.
Justin Timberlake. I don't know.
I know, it's so rude of me to do that. Lamar Odom. Do you know who
Like
he is?
Khloe
Yes.
Kardashian's. What?
Yeah.
And this would have been around when they were like making babies, right? I don't follow them,
That
but
was
I feel like
almost 10 years ago, so maybe I have no idea.
they haven't been together a while. I don't follow them, so I don't know when, but I feel like it probably was because he used to cheat on her all the time, didn't he?
I think so. That's what
He's
I've
her baby
seen
daddy,
online.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he used to
I think
cheat
they
on
were
her all the
married
time.
too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Allegedly. I don't know if anyone's a
That is so
Kardashian fan.
random.
I know. And it gets weirder. So he was found unresponsive from an apparent, like people think a drug overdose. So you think not super cursed. Like this probably happens all the time. But apparently he claims that he did not consume any illicit substances and that he was maybe even poisoned by the like ranch owner or the brothel owner, Daniel or Dennis Hoff, because, well, not because they didn't know each other. Apparently, they didn't even know each other, or Lamar has never even met him until like maybe that day or maybe never. But he, for some reason, was trying to say that this guy might be the cause of that overdose because he didn't take anything illicit. However, I have found things online to say like he was doing a lot of cocaine around that time and taking male enhancement drugs. So you tell me.
Yeah, I don't trust that I wasn't taking anything. I just don't.
Yeah. So, anyways, after this incident, the bed had, an unsavory past in the media, but it was
Unsavory.
maybe that's the worst word to
The
use here.
bed's just a criminal. He's just an unsavory guy.
Yeah, it had a past. And but it gets worse because the brothel owner, I guess also patron, Dennis Hoff, was in the bed getting services.
I get it now. Also
Yeah,
patron.
yeah. And he suffered a heart attack and died in the bed.
Oh.
And to this day, no one has stayed in his room with uh no one has stayed in the room since his death in 2018. So we can say the death, potentially curse related, spooky. The potential overdose, I don't know if
I'm
I say that
doubtful.
this bed's cursed. And I could not find anywhere um on like, blogs or Zach Bagans' website of how this bed was actually cursed or why people think it was cursed maybe even before that. It just had two weird incidents. And because someone died in it, it was moved to Zach Bagans' museum.
I
He's going to
just
do his own testing and whatever, or probably already has now.
that feels like such a big leap. Like some guy has an
Uh-huh.
overdose, one guy has a heart attack in the bed, and Zach Bagans is all over it.
And this guy, this guy, Zach Bagans in his museum has a lot of stuff, like stuff from Murder Ed Gein, like stuff made out of like human remains, I think, and like other like very haunted items or very like gross items from big murders and this bed. So like I feel like there has to be more to it.
There has to be. We'll find out when we go.
Yeah. And on his show, because I found like the show notes or the show description for the episode that features him talking about this piece, because I think he has a series or something where he talks about some of the things in his museum, and the bed has like its own episode. in the description for the episode, it's saying like a single mother who's had a sick son and fell on hard times, needed to work at a brothel, and there was like this murderous ghost that was trying to get her.
Oh,
But I could not find a single place online other than their show notes that said this. And there was like no other story of like a woman dying in the bed. So I can't corroborate if there's more stuff attributed to this. I kind of just thought it was funny that Zach Baggins had this bed
I
and that it
think
was
that's
related
so
to the
random.
Kardashians.
Yeah, so weird. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach.
So countless deaths have been attributed to at least some of the pieces of furniture for non-manufacturer related issues. So be aware of old furniture because your butt could be one sit away from a tragic curse.
My poor butt. I love that. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Beyond the Unknown. If you have a story you'd like to share, please email us at moody.mediaprod@gmail.com or reach out on Insta. Who knows, your story might be featured in our next episode.
All of our sources for this episode can be found on our website, beyondtheunknownpod.com. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a review.
Until next time, listeners, stay curious and remember that the unknown is always just beyond the shadows. Bye.
Bye.